Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a Just Get Ready with me. I am again gonna use nothing new and sit down, do my makeup. I wanted to do some filming today, but I'm a bit exhausted because we worked on the garden all weekend and I wanted to chat to you about also this whole coronavirus situation and how I'm dealing with it. I don't know if it's interesting, but it might be something that you want to share and talk about, and I thought this would be a good place to do so. So I'm just gonna go about doing my makeup and chatting with you about things. So I live in the Netherlands, but because I'm Italian, I have been following very closely the situation there for a long time, and I've been talking about it in my Instagram stories. And here in the Netherlands, I feel a lot of people took it very, very, relaxed, very not serious for a long time. And once the cases started exploding in Brabant, that's the region where I live, it was clear that there was a problem. And the first case, I think, was in Tilburg, but it quickly spread to the nearby towns. And the reason for it is Carnival. In the Netherlands, especially in the south, they celebrate Carnival a lot, a bit like in Italy. Everybody's in one space, everybody's in these small bars, celebrating, drinking, kissing, being close to each other, talking really close to the ear of people because, you kind of need to make yourself heard over the music. So I think that contributed a lot to the spread here. And indeed, there's more cases here in the south than anywhere else in the Netherlands. So a week or so ago, they made new measures and said, well, everybody in this region who has any symptoms of a cold, you have a snotty nose, or you have, for example, a cough or fever, you should not leave your house. Stay in isolation to prevent people from spreading the virus. And then they indicated that as much as possible, people should work from home, avoid big assemblance of people with more than 100 people, and things like that. And that was only for this region for a while. And for the rest of the Netherlands, they just said don't shake hands anymore. Now, I was enraged because I thought what they were doing was definitely not enough. And that is, I was actually quite vocal about it. But I actually read a little bit deeper and further on the situation. And I found out that actually contagions or spreading of the virus via people without symptoms is actually almost none. So I didn't know that before. I thought, well, you're walking around asymptomatic for weeks, because we know that the incubation time is very long, 2 to 3 weeks. You walk around asymptomatic for weeks and you go around and spread this virus everywhere. But apparently that's not what happens. Apparently you can only spread it when you have symptoms, coughing and sneezing. And that's because the virus is spread by not in the air, not by breathing, but by these droplets of saliva or so that gets expelled when you are sick, pretty much. So that actually made me understand a little bit better the reasoning of the Dutch government. What they did is typical Dutch. So it is the Dutch like to be in between. There are no extremes. There's also, in their economy, there's no real true poverty or really, really rich people like you see in countries like the US, for example. The Dutch like a middle ground for everyone. So that's also what they did with these directives for the coronavirus. They decided to do something in the middle and try to keep people working as much as possible, so keep the economy going, keep the people in the hospitals working, so also means not closing the schools. Up to now, this is as of Sunday, today, and they didn't close the schools, and they didn't, they're trying to keep the economy running and people's lives going as normal. And I was really against it, but now I think I understand it a little bit more. And yeah, indeed, maybe it's not so bad as I initially said. So this is me thinking and informing myself and telling you guys that maybe I changed my mind a little bit on what I was saying. What I think is important is the signal that was given by the universities and the schools and everybody involved in that. I've heard there has been a letter from the deans of the three major universities or of three major universities in the Netherlands. And they've asked, together with, I think, how do you call it, educational institutes, to close the schools. And actually the University of Eindhoven, where my office is located and where my husband works, they have independently chosen to close the whole university. So there's not going to be any education for the next week. And then after that, it's going to start online only. And luckily, they already had a lot of options for that. So pretty much the change will not be so big. And they're going to try to make up for the week that is going to be cancelled later in the year, so that actual education will not feel any adverse effects, and people will not have to postpone graduations and things like that, even though they will all just happen remotely or with closed doors, so no audience, to prevent more than 100 people from assembling, of course. So I was very happy with how the university reacted. They made deeper and much bigger measurements than the government, and that is because they know what happens on their campus. There's thousands of young people, also from many different countries and many different cultures. Being in the library, for example, is something that is very common as a student, and you shouldn't be doing that now because everybody's next to each other in a small, even though the library is big, but it's still a closed environment. So I'm actually very happy of how they reacted, and yeah, I think that might work. The question will be, of course, how research can continue, but then again, it's not a priority for the world, research. Oh, brush hairs. Not in other topics than, for example, right now, medicine and things like that. My husband, for example, he works on research on flow batteries, and his lab is going to be closed. So for him, it's actually going to be quite a slowdown of his daily activities. His department is still open for finishing up experiments that were running, because this happened over the weekend. So nobody really was ready for it, or ready for closing up shop in the labs. So there's going to be Monday and Tuesday to be able to finish up the experiments, and then to gather all your data, and then start working from home until the end of March. So I think for now everything is closed until April 1st. For me, my company, we develop software, so we have been working from home already the whole last week, and I think it's been working fine. I still need to hear from everyone else in my team, but I've been talking to my bosses, and they've been quite okay with how things are going. We have a lot of video conferences and calls, and we just talk to each other via Google Hangouts. And it's actually been fine. For me, it has been quite stressful, more than usual, because for me, when I worked from home 2 days a week before, for me, those were days in which I could work on individual projects and keep my stress level down, to keep my headaches at bay. So it was a bit of a recovery days, those. But now that everybody's working from home, those 2 days are no more for myself, and not for myself personally, but for my projects and work that I could do without a team of people. And now I'm just in calls every hour for half an hour to an hour all the time, and that is getting really stressful. That's the only thing that I'm observing, is that my headaches are getting a bit worse because it's very stressful. But other than that, I don't really mind everybody working from home. It's quite fine. I think that actually working from home is quite fun. I don't know. and yeah, I'm happy with it. It's not too bad. So we'll see. I think things are supposed to be taken seriously, and the craziness about going to the supermarket and buying out the supermarket is really ridiculous. What I realized, and I was talking about myself choosing to do groceries online to avoid going outside and risking spreading the virus. I talked to or saw some stories from a girl I know who's also a beauty blogger, and she actually is in a category at risk, and she couldn't order her own groceries because all the order slots were booked until the end of this period, until the end of March. And she is one of those people who really shouldn't be going out because she's at risk of serious consequences from this virus, whereas I am still healthy and I am still able to go out and do groceries by myself. So I realize that doing groceries online does not help those people who really need them to be delivered and who actually cannot leave the house. Of course, there is always an option to help these people, and I think that is what we would do with our neighbors. We offered, and whenever they need us to leave the house for them to do their groceries or something, that would always be an option. I think that is a better way of doing it rather than indeed stopping and blocking the system of online ordering for people who really need it. So we have decided to continue going out and doing our groceries regularly without making big shops. We're trying, so we usually used to go twice a week. Now we're trying to reduce it a little bit, maybe every 5 days, in a way that you can still buy fresh vegetables and meat and fish, whatever you need to, without it going bad. And then you reduce your shops to 3 times in 2 weeks instead of 4. I don't know. We try to do our best, and to be honest, I feel like we should all just try to do our best, not go too much out of our minds, but always be sensible and try to relate and get informed on other people's situations and on what we can do to reduce the risk for those people who really need to use services that we don't. So a little bit of introspection, a little bit of thinking a little bit further than your own ass, let's say. It's just a matter to try to be the best human you can be, try to be as helpful as you can be, and not think for your own ass for once. I think we can all learn from that and always be a little bit better. Nobody's perfect and nobody has to be perfect, but we can all try. And that is a little bit my message to myself and to everyone else. Try to do your best, and to be honest, it will also be a very good occasion to slow down our frenetic rhythms, to slow down life and enjoy the company of those who are with us in the house in this time. And if you are alone, please remember to take care of yourself and your mental health. And going out for a walk by yourself is not, unless it's prohibited in your country, it's not a bad thing. Or I've picked up running again, just to be doing something outside that doesn't take a long time, that doesn't take me in front of people, and just keep my mental and physical health at a decent level. So do what you can to keep and take care of yourself. Morning yoga is working great for me, just taking things a little bit slower. We all have our necessities and the things that we need to do. By the way, I've been doing my makeup now for 10 minutes, even more, 15 minutes, and I will link everything that I'm using down below, because it's all Project Pan stuff and things you already know and have seen. And please pardon this gigantic red bump in my chin. I don't know, this is coming from the depth of my soul. It seems like a zit coming from very far deep down myself. So that is a little bit my update, and I've been asking on Instagram if you guys have a bit of inspiration or videos you'd like to see. I know a lot of people, especially my Italian audience, are at home, forced at home by the law, and they cannot actually leave for anything that is not an emergency, and like only one person per family can go out to do groceries, and police are checking these things. So I know a lot of people are home, and thank you for doing that. Thank you for thinking for other people, and not just saying, well, I can be healthy, so I will be healthy, so I don't need to stay at home. I appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who is doing their part into fighting this virus and fighting for our grandparents. And mine aren't there anymore, but my parents are not young either. And yeah, I could not go and visit them if they were sick and had to go to the hospital right now. So I am happy for everyone who is taking care of the society around them as much as they do for themselves. What else can we say? It's difficult times. We all just need to do our part and our best. I have a hard time talking and doing my lower lash line. I don't know if it happens to you guys too. And I was not planning on filming another Get Ready with me, because it's not a video that gets a lot of views and things like that. But I think it's nice to just chat in these cases and just be around each other and be entertained, because that's also something that you can struggle with. And also, social media should be used in these occasions in the right way to be close to friends and family, Skype with your family if they're far away, and just talk as much as possible, be as social as possible from a distance, and yeah, don't diffuse misinformation. That is one thing that is very important, but also keep going with your relationships, because those are also very important, and it's what keeps us sane, because humans are a social species, and we need interactions. And I don't know, for me, I don't mind too much. I miss my friends, but I can call them. I had a video call with my best friend and her 2 little babies, and I have another friend who just had a baby and she's alone, but luckily her mom can stay at her place, and with her and her husband, they can take care of their family in this time and just be at home and happy and cherish these moments without too much fear for bad things happening. If everybody behaves correctly, it should be fine. I realize I've been doing my makeup and talking for 20 minutes already, because my camera shuts down after 20 minutes. And I haven't done anything on my face yet, and I haven't thought about anything like bronzer, blush, highlight. I'd probably be using the products that I chose during my shop, my stash. So for bronzer, Chanel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say about the coronavirus situation or about my life right now. So I thought maybe I can just show you the makeup for a change. And yeah, as usual, my Instagram DMs and the comments here are open to everyone who wants a chat, to everyone who wants to spend their time and, I don't know, be social. We're here for that. For me, I work full time now. Like, there's no change really in what I was doing before. So yeah, I thought I could, for example, give you more content now that you or many people have to stay home. But I don't really have much more content to film if I don't have time for it, because I only have time in the weekends. And then in the weekends, I also want to keep doing what all of the things in the house and in the garden. And the front garden is now pretty much finished. We have just one more type of plant to choose. But we worked really hard this weekend and it looks so pretty. I've shown you updates on my Instagram stories because, yeah, there's no point in... I'm not a gardening channel. So I did it. You can check those there if you're interested. And yeah, I think that's what we will focus on. Also for my husband, once his at-home work, what he can do from home is very limited. So that will dwindle down, and probably he will start working on things that need to be done around the house and in the garden, the back garden, for example. And I don't know, just take the opportunity to do some things that you never have time for, I would say. A lot of people are doing reading challenges. A lot of people are doing really fun stuff, I see. And I'm very happy that there is this positive, enthusiastic also attitude towards this quarantine, especially in Italy. But I've heard more countries are now getting shut down. And it's something that we have to live with. But as I saw yesterday on the news, someone in Spain was interviewed and they told him, oh, this quarantine is going to be bad, isn't it? And the guy said, well, being in the hospital is bad. We can deal with the quarantine. And I like that attitude. I think that is actually fantastic. On my lips, I'm going to apply Tool by Colourpop because it's one of the 3 liquid lipsticks that I picked for this month. And I think it looks really good with greens. And I have to stop talking. Here we go. This is the finished look. I'll take my mirror down for you to take a look. I've been using the Metropolis palette that you've seen me review recently. This guy right here, still using it because, you can read my review. Okay, you can watch my review for that. Then I used the shimmers and pretty much these 4 shades from the Smoke Sessions palette, which has also part of my Shop My Stash, and I really like it. Look at the beautiful shimmers, are really, really gorgeous. So that was there. My Nabla Brow Pot, that was, you can see how big the hole is becoming. I'm very curious to see when I finish it. MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Base in Radiant Yellow. Becca Champagne Pop for my highlight. I have the Jouer Blush Duo in Cheeky Summer. I used this darker terracotta shade right here. I pinched my finger. And that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know how you're holding on. Let me know if you're good. Let me know how you are dealing with this social distancing and how it's affecting you. I hope you are doing well, and if you're not, please look for help from those who love you, from even me and or social media. If you need to, just be informed, take care of yourself, but don't panic. We will get through this. We will get through this. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I wish you a safe and healthy next couple of weeks. I hope everybody will be okay, and I'll send you a lot of virtual from far away love from me to you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.